Hey, True Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. This past Wednesday, January 17th, 2017, very late in the day, the news headlines were about a man setting himself on fire outside of Trump International Hotel in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital. I have been waiting for them to put out the name of this man to give more details about the story. They're only reporting that it was a 45-year-old man from California. And of course, Donald Trump, about to become the 45th president tomorrow, January 20th, Inauguration Day. So, what I'm going to show you in this video is that this is more contrived propaganda by the numbers from the media that is likely foreshadowing a tragedy to come. Burning Man protester, late January 17th in Washington, D.C., outside of Trump International Hotel. Here's what it's all about. The date this happened, January 17th, 2017, I put out a number of videos that day decoding mainstream stories with predictive programming for a Trump assassination. This story came out after I'd already made those videos decoding the news. This was the last story of the day. This was a date with 55 numerology. The word burn equals 55. The word Satan equals 55. Remember, the false Jews, the Zionist Jews, are known as the synagogue of Satan, and they are the nation of Israel. The Jewish people are not to have a holy state. Israel goes against the Jewish faith. It is the nation of the false Jews, who Donald Trump says nobody loves Israel more than him. The election this year was on a date with 55 numerology. 55. Look at this. They say the fire happened at about 9:30 p.m. And they say the man was a 45-year-old man who has not yet been identified. They got the news story to you, but he hasn't yet been identified. I mean, just think about how the news normally has the whole story wrapped up. They got the Facebook profile, they got the family pictures, they got family members ready to come out and tell everything to the media. All this stuff happens within 24 hours with these news stories. Anyway, 9:30 p.m., 45 years old. Here's what's up. Saturn, the planet to the occult, to the esoteric, very important. There's something called Saturn's magic cube or Saturn's magic square. It's what you're looking at on the screen. Notice each of these rows and columns, if you add the numbers in them, they sum to 15. If you add up each row, it sums to 45 total. The total sum of Saturn's magic square is 45. Donald Trump about to be the 45th president. Here's a man, 45 years old, setting himself on fire at about 9:30 p.m. Again, Saturn 93. In this world we live in, the sun is the true keeper of time. We're told it's a ball of fire in the sky. They tell us the sun is 93 million miles away. Special number 93, especially to the Zionist nation of Israel. Everything about Israel is 93. Everything. Remember, just a few months ago, world leaders were in Israel to celebrate the death or to remember the president who passed away at age 93. The world leaders arrived in Israel on September 29th, the day that leaves 93 days left in the year. Israel drawn up on September 3rd, 1947. Everything about Israel is 93. And the other point is, when you start to study this planet Saturn, you realize there's a lot of parallels between Saturn and Satan. Saturn and Satan. Saturday. The Sabbath day. So anyhow, this happened outside of Trump International Hotel, which has the 111 gematria, the New World Order, a Zionist, Freemasonic, Jesuit, very much satanic world order. Talk more about 111 in a second. New York equals 111. Donald Trump and Hillary with the major New York ties. They got a picture of the man, but no name. They say he's from California. There's two states with the gematria of 88 in the United States. They are California, where he's supposedly from, and Maryland. pretty much where the nation's capital is. The name Trump also equals 88. So does the Republican Party, 88. Think about it. 45-year-old man from California, about 930. I'll show you what more Trump has to do with Saturn besides just being the 45th president-elect. Until tomorrow. Then he becomes President Trump. With regards to 88, the number on Trump, 8 times 8 is 64. Donald Trump began his Jesuit schooling at Fordham University in 1964. 8 times 8, 64. Israel equals 64. Zion, 64. Thelema equals 64. Thelema, the occult religion that worships number 93. A lot of ties between it and Israel. Anyway, Trump began his Jesuit schooling in 64. He would be elected to his first government position 52 years later in 2016 as president. Just want to point out that California has gematria 52, like White House, like government, like prophecy. Donald Trump, 52 years after beginning his Jesuit schooling, elected the 45th president of the United States. The Jesuits in the Catholic Church, think about the Catholics, the Christians, the Bible, Holy Bible 45. Here's supposedly the man who lit himself on fire. At the end, it talks about how New York Mayor Bill de Blasio is going to participate on these protests later today, January 19th, 6 p.m. Eastern. That's about 3 hours from now. Just think about this. Typically, on this evening, what you get is the president giving his farewell speech. But Obama did that on January 10th, 1/10, 110. The word president equals 110. This year, instead, it seems that the focus all day today, when I had on the news this morning, it was all about Donald Trump. You know, all about Donald Trump heading in. More about that than Obama on the way out. So the focus is on Trump. Tonight, they'll be in the news, Trump protests. Even former mayors protesting. Do not forget, Donald in Jewish gematria equals 119. We're on 1/19, January 19th. He was announced as the 45th president on November 9th, 11/9, 119. That was the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. Berlin Wall equals 45. Donald Trump, Mr. Wall. All Seeing Eye equals 119. Star of David, 119. Master Plan, 119. Commercial from 2010 with Donald Trump talking about being born for the job, wearing the same suit and tie he wore on election night. Look at the sheep in the hallway he's talking to. 11 and 9. Sheep on 2 towers, 2 pillars, kind of like September 11th, which Donald Trump predicted. We'll close out with that. Donald Trump's very successful September 11th, 2001 prediction, which he predicted in 2000, January 15th. So here was NBC's reporting on this same incident. I just want to show you something funny. At the bottom of the article, it says what time the article was published, 11:01. About a story of a man on fire in front of the Trump International Hotel, 111, New York. You know, this happened in D.C., but Trump, Mr. New York. The article was about how there's going to be a protest in New York tonight. You know, see what happens at that New York protest. Perhaps they got another story planned for us. You know what I mean? And again, as a reminder, Donald Trump's campaign began June 16th, 2015, a date that can be written 16/6. The White House equals 166. From June 16th to November 8th, Election Day was 511 days. That's the number for Saturn in Jewish gematria, running to be the 45th president. Remember this issue or this incident? Remember the 5th of November, November 5th, 2016. Trump had the assassination scare 3 days before the election. November 5th, which can be written 5/11, just like 511 days for Saturn, or 11/5, like 115. Donald Trump coming into office with the 115th Congress. JFK, the last president to be assassinated on a date with 115 numerology. The date of this scare was a date with 52 numerology as well. Prophecy, Reno equals 52, White House, government. Reno, Nevada, the small way also has gematria 45. This is where Trump had his assassination scare on November 5th, the number that goes with Saturn's magic cube. You see how this all works? All scripted news by the numbers. People setting themselves on fire, the assassination scare. Now we're about to watch Donald Trump's prediction of September 11th, 2001. I want to remind you this. Orlando in 2016 had the I Am Invictus Games. That happened in the summer or late spring of 2016. Then, not long after, June 12th, 2016, there was the shooting in Orlando at the nightclub that was supposedly the worst casualty count since September 11, 2001 in an act of terrorism. And 9/11, Orlando, they were both false flags. I want to show you what's up with this I am coding and what it had to do with September 11th. This was all over the Invictus Games that was followed by the Orlando shooting. The date September 11th, 2001, in numerology, I is the 9th letter, A is the 1st, M is the 13th. So 9113. In numerology, the date 9/11/2001. In numerology, you break all numbers down to a single digit except for 11 or 22. So 9 is a single digit, it's fine. 11 is 11, it can stay, it's the master number. 2001 becomes 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 1 equals 3. So this becomes 9/11/3, like I am 9113. I am an important Masonic motto. Important meaning. Phrase important to the esoteric. I am. Now look at this. From the 93 World Trade Center bombing, February 26, 1993 was the date. To Tuesday, September 11th, 2001 was 3,119 days. We just talked about 9113 I am. Here it is in reverse, 3119. And just so you know, the World Trade Centers, they were first funded as a project March 11th, 1961. They came down September 11th, which can be written 11/9. It's like the beginning and end of those buildings are in these numbers. The tribute in light also began on March 11th, 2002, to remember the fallen towers. March 11th. So anyhow, 3,119 days, that's the 444th prime number, which is a number that comes back to Freemasonry, 444. Freemasonry, Zionism, Jesuits, this is what the New World Order is, this is what the Illuminati is. This is who runs the show, and this is how they do it, by the numbers. Let's close out with Donald Trump. This is from his book from the beginning of 2000 that was published January 15th. 115, he's taking office with the 115th Congress. We just talked about his 511-day campaign. Check this out.
BuzzFeed dug up an old quote from Donald Trump talking about a large-scale terror.
It's funny. I watched this months ago. I just caught that it's BuzzFeed that first brought this up. Remember, Donald Trump was recently calling BuzzFeed and CNN fake news. And in a way, it's true because all of these outlets push the fake news. But perhaps BuzzFeed, went beyond what they were supposed to with exposing this. Donald Trump recently attacking BuzzFeed, who exposed him for his 9/11 prediction. Here we go.
Attack 19 months before 9/11. In his 2000 book, The America We Deserve, Trump wrote, I really am convinced we're in danger of the sort of terrorist attacks that will make the bombing of the 1993 Trade Center look like little kids playing with firecrackers. Trump also mentioned the mastermind of the attack, writing, quote, one day we're told that a shadowy figure with no fixed address named Osama bin Laden is public enemy number one, and U.S. jet fighters lay waste to his camp in Afghanistan. He escapes back under some rock, and a few news cycles later, it's on to a new enemy and a new crisis. Trump.
Wait. Okay, hold on a second. Is this really Trump before 9/11? Have you read this?
It's 2000 in his book.
Are we making this? Did you make this up, Mika?
Nick.
I did.
Did you make this up?
Yeah,
Nick,
exactly.
tell us it's over, right? Because
Will
you're
you
wrong about
stop?
everything.
Mika, stop. God.
I don't think it's over.
What's that? What's the rage here? Will you stop
No,
picking
it's
on
cute.
him?
I think it's cute.
Well,
go for it.
no, really quickly though. I mean, so Willie, that was.
You guys, just look at what American television is. I mean, this is serious. He's saying, did Donald Trump really write this? I mean, this sounds like exactly what happened. And then you got the woman, the blonde, and she's like, oh, he's cute, he's cute. It's just like, wait, where did we just go? We were talking about something serious. Now we're talking about who's cute? I just cannot stand watching the TV. It's meant to make you stupid. I mean, just turn the TV off. But these types of things are important to document. I mean, they're showing you what's going on. Donald Trump, January 15th, 2000, writes out the whole 9/11 story. Let's talk about the name Osama bin Laden for a second in regards to the World Trade Centers that were 110 stories tall. Osama bin Laden, right? Osama bin Laden, 110. The World Trade Centers, 110 stories tall. They were proposed and approved by the Rockefeller family. Nelson Rockefeller was the 49th governor when the tower project was approved. It was David Rockefeller who approved it, or proposed it, and financed it. Twin Towers equals 49. Nelson Rockefeller was the 49th governor of New York when the project was financed, 1961. But here's what I want to show you. I've done a lot of videos from the election up to now on what to look for Inauguration Day with Trump. I was even talking about it a year ago, really. I just didn't think he was going to make it here, but he did. Here's something to know about tomorrow, January 20th. The word Illuminati equals 120. 1/20, January 20th, Inauguration Day. Illuminati, the small way, sums to 48, just like the name Donald Trump. We'll see what all they have planned for tomorrow, you know. It's going to be a very interesting day. Donald Trump, New World Order candidate. It'll probably most likely just be a celebration of the most ridiculous president they've had installed yet, you know. A reminder of how deep we are in the game of living under the rule of the New World Order tyrants who just mock us with everything. From 9/11 to Osama bin Laden, who they called the cave dweller. Do you remember this? They used to call him the cave dweller. Cave dweller, 110. You know how they just sentenced Dylan Stormroof, the Charleston church shooter, to death on January 10th? That shooting was at 110 Calhoun Street. I think there's something like this, too. Well, I guess you can just write it the other way. 911. Let me see. Yeah, 911's 110. 911. Osama bin Laden takes down the 110-story World Trade Centers. Isn't it great? Isn't it great, Truth Seeker? Yeah, so if you just found your way here and you've never seen one of my videos before, you better subscribe and look through the videos. I've put out about 30 videos in the last 5 days, and a lot of them have to do with what's up with the inauguration tomorrow, and a whole lot more. So I think we covered another one, Truth Seeker. Another fake news story put to rest. I mean, no doubt, I bet you they had a guy out there, just like how they have these people at shows that are trained to do this. They know how to coat themselves and set themselves on fire and not destroy themselves. Probably hired that guy to come out here and do this, film the little news story, put out the details as they did. It's just all a little tribute to whatever they got planned next, all their little rituals by the numbers. That's how the gang operates. The Masonic cartel, the Masonic mafia, the New World Order, the Illuminati, which the orange overgrown Oompa Loompa Donald Trump serves. Until next time.